A local group is calling out the administration of the Worcester Public Schools, say they are not doing enough to help Latino students and students of color. But Superintendent Maureen Benenda says she's been working hard to help address issues the students are facing. Our Chandler Walsh joins us now with more. Chandler.
Olivia, behind the doors of the Worcester Public Schools Administration Building, Superintendent Benenda says disparities between Latino students and students of color and white students is unacceptable, and she's working diligently to reduce them. Meanwhile, a coalition for education equity says student data they've been collecting is concerning. A community group says the Worcester Public Schools aren't doing enough for Latino students and students of color who combined make up more than 60% of the district. The Worcester Coalition of Education Equity is calling on the school committee to not renew Superintendent Maureen Benenda's contract. They also want to remove School Safety Director Rob Pizzella.
It is not sound to consider extending the contract, and that the practices around disciplinary action should not be relegated to an individual that's not an educator and that clearly has misused his authority.
The coalition says according to data from the state, there's a 10% dropout rate for English language learners, and Latinos and students of color are suspended at a rate more than double of white students.
An issue that we all need to take an interest in, because these kids are in our schools now, but they're the future of our economy, of our city.
Superintendent Benenda says she has never met with the coalition. She says she's aware there's a gap between school suspensions of white students and Latino students, and meets with many groups to address it.
Looking to really find a really good recommended group to come in and work with our principals and our assistant principals, and then have them train our teachers on whether or not there are some biases that we don't know.
The coalition says the district needs to hire a diversity officer, a more diverse staff, and reevaluate how disciplinary actions are determined. Benenda says funding is a big challenge, but the district will use resources from the city.
We would like to look at practices for hiring and retaining teachers of color. We'd like to be able to consult with the city's chief diversity officer.
The coalition is looking for people to attend Thursday's school committee meeting in support. Benenda says overall, in and out of house suspensions are down by 30 to 40% since last year, and long-term suspensions are down by 18%. Live in Worcester, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.